subway around 2:30. So it had been around 2, and we got off the subway at Fulton and Broadway around
2 in the afternoon?
2:30 in the morning.
It was after the rain and everything.
And all of a sudden we heard someone yelling at us to stop.
We were the only ones on the street because it was so late, and so these police caught after us, and we turned around, not thinking anything of it really, thinking that maybe they had a question or something, because we weren't doing anything illegal at all, and we were simply walking down the street, and they came up to us. We stopped where we were, and they walked up to us, and they said, you'd been graffitiing in the subway, haven't you? And we denied it because we hadn't, and they said that we had to, they demanded that we go back down into the subway, a block away, to not even talk about it, but they didn't say what. And so we expressed to them our rights, that we have the right to remain silent until we contact somebody, and that we were really uncomfortable with the situation. We didn't know what was going on really. And at that point, they grabbed Aislinn's hands, and one of them did, and threw her up against the wall and said, no, you have to come down with us. And so at that point, we sort of gave in to that, but we were still remaining as silent as we could, and walked back down into the subway.
Then when we got there, they just kept drilling us, saying that we know you did it, we know you did, we have an eyewitness, they're saying that you did it, it's you. And as we kept denying it, they proceeded to split us apart, and kept basically they're manipulating this whole story about what I was saying and about what Janna was saying, and totally creating this illusion that we had done something. And I'd say about 20 minutes after being down there, they called 2 more police officers. So there were 4 police officers and the 2 of us in a empty subway station.
Yeah. And so at that point, they had asked for our IDs, which we knew that we didn't have to give them to us, but they were already so physically abusive that we were like, just gave them our IDs, kind of. And so they were scanning our IDs and everything, and one of the 4 police left and entered through the gates of the actual subway and went down, and there's writing all over the walls, it's the subway, and took a picture with his personal iPhone of some writing with like a Sharpie marker on the wall that was a hashtag that said OWS, and he comes back up a few minutes later as they're still questioning us separately, and started saying, you did this, didn't you? You did this. Like, we just went and took a picture and you did this. And we hadn't done it, and so I said no, and then they went on to say that all the odds were against us because it was quite obvious that we must have done this because we both had Sharpie markers on us and we were really back at Occupy Wall Street earlier that day. We were making signs for people and, you know, doing art and stuff like that, and none of which was on any permanent property. It was all on cardboard. We expressed that to them. We didn't deny that we had been making signs earlier that day and that we did have the materials for that on us, but there was no proof.
I was able to convince them at the beginning to let me call my mom because I was really uncomfortable with the situation. And when she showed up, they created a wall of the 4 police so that she could not see or hear what was going on.
Yeah.
And they just kept going and saying, we're going to arrest you. This is a felony. We're going to arrest you. This is a felony. You, like, everything is against you. You're gonna be arrested.
Yeah.
And after an hour of being down there, they finally told us and that they were doing us this huge favor by not arresting us, and that we had. It's really hard to feel like we can't be anywhere and not be afraid of the police. We should feel safe in a subway station at night. We should feel safe to be walking back to our apartment, and we shouldn't be stopped just because we're here supporting this movement and expressing what we really believe is right. And that is the only reason they stopped us. And like, it's really it's just really upsetting because it's not, you know, at a protest I understand police presence and that's like their job, but in that situation it was just so unjustified, and they were so forceful with us over such a small thing too. Like, I feel like if we
I was trying to at the same time sort of address the situation we were just coming from. They were sitting there trying to accuse us of graffitiing, and so I brought up to them, I was like, do you see what your body of people just did to like, you know, the movement and everything? It doesn't matter who they are, you just don't treat people that way. And it was, the brutalness of it was just absolutely disgusting. And so they started saying to us, well, you want us to tell the truth? You want us, the New York Police Department, to tell the truth? Like, you should be telling the truth right now, shouldn't you? Shouldn't you be telling the truth? You did this, didn't you? And it was just this, like, really just aggressive, manipulative situation that was, in a way, not, you know, it's sad. It's not something that surprises me at all. And at the same time, it's that acknowledgement that is bringing us to that movement. So